Okay, welcome out to the Pirates Cove podcast. So we are at episode number 8, Wednesday evening. Getting a little late started. The girls, we have two RF Lady Pirates softball team with us again for the third week. But it's a little different now because they're freshmen. So the last two have been our seniors. These ladies are freshmen, so it's the first year on the team. So we have left field Emma Groseclose. Emma, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good.
And then we have our DH hitter Piper Shearer. Shearer, I hope I said that right. Piper, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right. So I want to thank you girls first off for coming on the podcast. I know you girls had a long day today. You also were participating in your track and field events. So thank you for taking some time to come out and join us on the podcast so that the community can get to know both of you a little bit more and kind of just you girls are having a remarkable season. And so Johnny and I are going to have some questions for you so that you can answer and the community can get to know what our Rockport, our athletes, our future athletes, because you both are going to have 3 more years here with us. And so I did something a little different, girls, than I've done in the other podcasts. So what I asked your parents were to send me some information um, on both of you, and they did. And so before we start with the questioning, I'm going to read out what your parents sent to me. So I'm going to start off with Emma. So let me get Emma's. So Emma, I'm going to go ahead and start off with you. This is what your parents sent to me. So I had asked for some background information on you because I don't know either one of you other than I've seen you guys play softball, and I think you both are very talented in softball. But this is what your parents sent me, Emma. You started playing little league softball when you were old enough. So I'm assuming when you could pick up a bat and run, they had you at the park. Um, you also played in the local basketball league when you were old enough to as well. You were also in ballet when you were young. In middle school, she ran cross country, volleyball, basketball, and track and field, and was on the first middle school softball team. So I believe you were in 7th grade at that time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. They did not get to do track and softball last year in middle school, of course, because of the COVID situation. She has played with her friends and a couple of local softball teams in the area. This year in high school, she was able to play on the JV volleyball team and the district undefeated JV basketball team. She is running in the 400-meter dash and the mile relay tomorrow in the area meet, which was today. She also tried to play golf this year, but was unable to go to any golf tournaments because of your time. Yeah, you stay pretty busy. One other thing, Emma, that they said, one thing um, that your parents are also proud of is in the first class rank, you were number 8. So those are accomplishments. I mean, all of the you're studying and playing all these sports and stuff. I mean, it's awesome that you find time to be able to do all this and be a success. I know that the JV basketball team went undefeated. I saw their record, and that's just exciting for next year to see what's coming in basketball. Man, I mean, it was just a successful year in basketball for the girls, and next year's going to be even better. So, Emma, I just kind of wanted to read out those things. This is what your parents sent me. Um, Piper, I'll go to you next. Um, Piper started playing softball at the age of 10. She wanted to play soccer, but I knew she had upper body strength and told her to try out softball. So she joined Little League. This was around the 4th grade. She liked her first year experience and wanted to continue. She had zero experience and just tried to listen to the different coaches, to the direction that they were leading her to. Not until about the sixth grade did a friend introduce her to her current batting coach, Billy Jack Williams. He has been here for Piper ever since. Rockport Middle School got their first softball team during Piper's seventh grade year. Game one, Piper went to bat and hit her first out of the park home run. It was exciting. During her seventh grade year, Emma's dad suggested shot put and discus. Piper loved both and got first place in district meet in discus her seventh grade year, throwing 82 feet. As a freshman, her current record in discus is throwing 106 feet. Right now, the RFHS record for girls discus is 136 feet, and Piper's goal is to beat that record before she graduates. Emma's parents and grandparents have cheered Piper on from the very beginning and still do to this day. So this is awesome. And we're going to start doing that with all the athletes that come on because it's good for the community to know about you girls and all of the things and the hard work that you put in because a lot of us just kind of watch what's on the field, but the work that it takes day in and day out to get to that point is what we want to be able to share with the community. The work that you guys have done, it didn't start last year, it started when you were young. And so, again, it's just awesome to see you girls doing what you're doing this year and just what the future holds because you girls are going to be with Rockport for another 3 years. So, Johnny, I'll throw it over to you and you can start the questioning.
Okay, Piper, I'm gonna start off with you. Like I said, I like doing this with all the girls. I think I'm gonna be uh, asking all the girls because I'm always curious of what goes on between these girls' heads before a game. Um, Piper, is there anything that you do before a game that's a routine kind of thing, or any music you like every time, or what? What? Tell us about your routine pregame stuff.
So my mom usually gets me a lemonade from Jalisco's, and I usually go back to the locker room and hang out with the girls before the game.
You, Emma?
Well, I'm not big on like superstitions or whatever. But I always go with Jordan Hall and Kimbo to Subway, and we always go back to the locker room and just hang out with them. So it's not really like a superstition, but it's just my routine. So
Oh, interesting, interesting. Uh, Emma, I heard this from the girls, especially the seniors. They noticed that you were always nervous when you first started with the team. Um, Tell us a little bit about that, and how did you break out of that?
well, my brother is friends with all of them because he's a senior as well. And before I tried out, he told me how all of them were so mean, and I was so nervous. He told me all of them were so mean, and then I got there, and I was most scared of Mikey because she was just joking around with me. But then I realized he was just kidding. So then I started to loosen up a little. But
That's pretty
Wow,
funny.
wow, it is
Teasing the
funny.
freshmen. So we all know that senior thing. Piper, uh, we know that you're a DH person and stuff like that. Is there anywhere else on? Do you ever play anywhere else on the field, or do you have a position?
Well, in Little League, I used to like play third base and I used to catch. I play all around wherever the coaches need me.
Is it just out of just out of fun? Out of fun. Is there a position that you would like to play before you graduate? Or just
Mm,
stay with your third and first?
probably stay with it.
Okay, okay. Uh, Piper, being a DH, I back in my days played DH in my high school years, and I loved it for various reasons. Uh, but I want to know what you like about being a DH on the team.
Well, I love hitting. Like I just love it. So for me, like whenever I hit and then I get to see everyone's field and stuff, I like cheering everyone on and helping them out. Just very
Cool.
fun.
Who wouldn't want to just hit and not worry about anything else?
Yeah.
I love that feeling back in my days. Um, Emma, I Gabriel kind of talked about your um, experience a little bit. I'm still gonna touch on it. I was gonna skip it, um, but tell me, tell us your side of your softball experience over the years.
Well, I started softball in second grade. I was on bad news duties. But I've never really been super serious about softball, or I haven't really been serious about any sport. My dad was a coach, and I wanted to be like him, so I always just played every sport that was available.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Uh, Gabriel, I'm gonna pass it on to you.
All right. So, girls, my first question is for both of you. So, Piper, I'll go to you first. So, what's been your experience of this year playing varsity as a freshman and playing for Coach Reyes?
This it was it's I never would have thought I would be playing varsity softball. It, at the beginning of this year, I was so nervous, like super duper nervous of all the girls because they're so confident and how like they look so powerful as like one group. And as me joining, I was so scared. But right now, currently, I feel like amazing. Like knowing the girls, feeling like a family with like all of them. And Coach Reyes, I love her so much. She's like my mom, like my second mom.
That's awesome. Emma?
Well, Coach Reyes and I have always been close, kind of, because my dad used to coach with her, so I always knew her. And just joining the team, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't gonna play softball this year, but Coach Reyes convinced me, and so it's just so different. It's so fun, and I'm so happy that I played softball, and the team is just so encouraging, and like Piper said, we are really a family, and we're one team.
Yes. I mean, and it shows, girls, on the field. It shows the chemistry that you all have, whether you're freshmen or your sophomores or your juniors or seniors. It just shows, and that's one reason I think that you girls are having the success you're having this year. It's that chemistry. Like you said, it's a family that you guys are. It's more than just friendship. It's a family. Um, Emma, I had Mikey on and Sierra on the first podcast, and I asked uh, Mikey to talk about the chemistry and to talk about you two in particular because you guys have contributed in the games that I've seen. You guys have both contributed, and we'll talk about some of those games that you play later on in the podcast. But one of the things she said, Emma, was that you were a playmaker and that when you go up to bat, they always feel like you're going to get that run in if it's needed. You're going to get that base hit. Those comments that the senior says about you, what does that mean to you?
Well, they're always super encouraging, and I what they say is just I take that so personal because I just admire them so much, and it doesn't when I hear all this when I go up to bat, I don't really feel all this nervousness. I just need to put the ball in play or move a runner or maybe like force a run. So whatever I just do.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've noticed as a fan that's out there cheering for you girls or recording the game, right, for the Pirates Cove. When I was telling Johnny, it seems like you go up there, your body language is like there's no nerve. Like you just go up there. It doesn't seem like a fan will see it. You just go up there, and it's been like I watch you and like, man, she's a freshman. Like I think she'd be a little scared. Okay, they're counting on me, and you just like you said, you just seems like your body. You just go up there and you just do your job, and it's been consistent. It hasn't been like one game, and it's almost been consistent every game. You do that, and I've talked about this on the podcast. Wow, what you know that's awesome. The goal that this team is trying to reach, and to have someone at that bottom of the lineup that can consistently get those runs in, when needed. Then you get yourself on base when that top lineup comes up, and Mikey and Maddie and Sierra come up, and then they get you in. It's just amazing to see. And you've just been performing outstanding, both of you, this year as freshmen. And I just can't wait to see what you guys are going to do in the next 3 years with this softball team. The next question I have is, you both know that you're ranked number one in the state of Texas. I've been in Rockport all my life. I graduated in the 90s. I've never known any uh, sport where we were number one. When I heard that you guys were number one, I was telling everybody. I was sharing it at work, letting everybody know I was excited. Just about a week ago, I started to kind of calm down a little bit, because I think people are starting to say, okay, you've already told us once. Just need to calm down. Johnny pumps me up because he'll say it's the 6th week in a row that we're number one. I start getting excited. But for you girls, I'd ask both of you to answer this question. What does the number one ranking mean to you girls? Emma, I'll go to you first.
Well, I think being number one ranked, it's just a ranking, but I think if we continue to have our work ethic and we stay together as a family, it will when we will get that state championship, it'll just be worth it.
Did you hear that, John? She said when they get it. That's good. That's all. Piper,
This is so amazing. It's so amazing that we got this far already, and we can't go let this get to our head, because if we fight like, oh, we're so good, then there might be someone who might hurt us or like get to our heads and might get in fights and stuff. But if we do our job and work together and have fun, having fun is the main reason why we're in this sport. And that's why I love the team, because we're all one family.
wow, that's awesome. So then my next question would be to both of you. Piper, I'll go to you first. Can you girls go all the way and win state? And if you're able to do that, what would that mean to you, Piper? Winning state as a freshman.
This would be so crazy. I never would have imagined. It's a dream come true, honestly.
Emma?
Um, when we win the state championship, it's gonna be so, like Piper said, crazy that we're gonna be freshmen. I'm kind of nervous that next year, without the seniors, we're gonna have to do better or do good still.
The
Yeah.
pressure would be on. Yeah, you definitely, the expectation is high. But you girls are having, once again, a remarkable season to this point. You do got some tough games coming up. I know we've got Beeville coming up, but you also got Ingleside and Sinton still. You got to go to Ingleside, then we got to go to Sinton. These 2 games in the first round were really tough for us. And like I've always said on the podcast, ladies, everybody's coming for you. You're number one. Everybody knows it. They want to get recognized. What better way to get recognized if you beat the number one team in state? So you're getting the best from everybody. But I think it's a good preparation already. And what these next games will show, it'll prepare you guys even more when you get into the playoffs. Um, Johnny, I'll throw it back over to you.
Okay. Emma, on our other podcast, I've been throwing in like the top stats. I just having a little fun. Keeping up. What's going on the team, and I did notice at one point you were like hit after hit after hit, going 3 for 3, 2 for 2, 3 for 4. I'm like, that's what got me curious about looking into batting averages, and I noticed you're way up there. In fact, you were the top on the list when I looked back then. And since then, you've been consistent being 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 through the whole time. Um, being a freshman, what does that mean? Being on the top 3 on the batting average on the number one team.
Well, I don't really know. I don't want to think about that too much, just so like nerves don't get in my head. But I'm proud of that I'm being consistent for my team and getting on base. And I don't want to feel like if I get a walk, I should be like disappointed and that my batting average is gonna not be as good as if I got a hit. But if as long as I'm on base scoring, then I'm happy with that.
You got some speed on you too, girl. We wouldn't mind a walk either. uh, Piper. Um, some of the seniors told me about this. About a grizzly bear. Tell us about this grizzly bear kind of thing. Educate me about that.
Um, it started off one day in a game this year. Coach is like, Hyper, don't be a teddy bear, be a grizzly bear. And I just had this sudden urge because I was so nervous, and I was like, "Rah," and I just growled.
I seen you and Mikey like look at each other and like y'all gave each other the little grizzly kind of thing one game. And I was all like, that seems like to be a little trend going on in the team now. So I had to ask where that came from. I mean, I didn't even know. But that's pretty funny. That keeps the team together, having fun. That's what you want to do. You know, you're serious. You want to win the game, but the only way you're gonna enjoy it because after a while you'll get tired and burned out. But y'all are all together. Y'all all having fun doing it. You know, and that's the greatest thing about this team. Everybody's having fun. You know, it's serious, but you're also having fun doing it. Piper, I noticed when all the players, when you're going up the bat, y'all kind of like give advice to each other. Y'all, you know, I don't know what y'all say. Tell us what y'all say to each other, and does that help you any?
Yes, it helps me a lot because if someone like gets a hit or strikes out, either or, they tell each other like, oh, you need to watch it, you need to hold back, or you need to wait on it, or you gotta swing early, or like just anything like that helps because once like it just helps you. You know what I mean?
In the in previous past years of you playing, have you ever came across something like that where y'all communicate with the other batters beforehand? Have y'all? I've noticed about the team doing that, and me playing so many years. I don't remember us doing that, but I guess that's a deal now these days, you know. But I kind of paid attention a lot of it us doing y'all doing that. Um, Emma,
Yes, sir.
out of all the sports that you play, do you have a favorite?
Uh, I don't really think I have a favorite. Just like the competitiveness, whatever sport I'm in at the moment, like volleyball, all volleyball, and then basketball, like forget volleyball, it's all basketball. As long as I'm winning and as long I just focus on the sport I am at that time.
Winning. That's all it takes is winning. I love that.
I second that too. I love that winning boy. That's awesome.
All right, I'm done with my name.
Okay, so I'll talk to both of y'all about one game that I saw. Emma, I'll start off with you. So in Calhoun, this last second go around with Calhoun, we're what 8-0, 9-0 in district. I know we're undefeated. Are we 9-0 after the win this
I
past Tuesday?
9-0.
9-0, yeah. So Emma, against Calhoun, you had a big game. I think you went 3 for 4. You had 3 hits in 4 at bats. I remember reading the article. And do you remember that game?
do, yes, sir.
Can you talk a little bit about that game? You had a big game.
Well, I've been in the eight hole, and Coach Reyes came up to me right before the Calhoun game, and she goes, "We're putting you in the sixth today." So I was nervous about that a little bit, and so I went up after Crystal, and I just hit the ball. I mean, I was nervous that Coach Reyes moved me up, but after the game, she was like, "We should have put you in the sixth hole sooner," which I think that was just a good game, and I felt confident, and so.
And I would ask, I would think that after every game, and and you've had multiple games like this ain't your first game. You've had big moments. You come up big for this team, even before we got into district. That's got to build the confidence, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about the game against Sinton. It was a tough game. I mean, we were down 2-0. I'd really never seen when I started watching you girls. we had those games, but we always had the lead. I'd never seen you girls play from behind. That was the first game. And as we were getting to those later innings, I was like, oh no, I think it's going to slip away. We're struggling again with the bats like we did against Ingleside. But I watched. I think it was the bottom of the sixth. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. But you hit the ball down the first baseline. But that hustle, you hustled. You were safe. But it's that hustle that made that person have to quickly throw that ball. It's that hustle that got those girls, and it caused. I think, if I remember correctly, they made an error, and we got to run in to tie it. Um, we always talk, and I'm sure the coaches talk about hustle play. Even if you're going to be out, you hustle every play. And in that play, I just wanted to, just let you know that, that hustle allowed Rockport to score a run, I believe, and tie the game, bring it up to the seventh, and then of course you guys win the game. But it's that type of hustle play, and I've heard your interview here the last few minutes, and the way you talk, the way you approach the game. That's what's needed. It's plays like that that's needed that'll get you to that title. It's those type of plays when you can't hit a home run every game, where you're not going to get an RBI. Batters struggle, even the best in the sports struggle. But when you hustle every play, no matter what you're doing, and they make an error, it keeps the inning alive. Next batter up, you tie the game, and then we end up winning the seventh. So it's just it was just awesome to see, because I was paying attention. You hit the ball earlier, and it almost seemed like it was fair, but it went foul. You come back, you hit it down the first base line. It just seems like a routine play. Looks like you're going to be out, right? They're going to get it, but you hustled, and they made an error, and you were safe. And it's just that type of performance. I just wanted to let you know that it's that type of performance that's going to get you girls where you want to go. And it seems like everybody on that team does it. And so when it's all said and done, ladies, I hope that we'll be the last team standing, and we'll bring that trophy back here to Rockport. Piper, I would like to talk to you about your game against Ingleside. Tough game. I mean, that's one of the first games that I had been to. We were struggling in that game, right? It was like, man, I think we're going to lose this game. We're going to the bottom of the 10th. I remember thinking, how long can Shearer go? They have two pitchers. They brought in a fresh pitcher, right? And I was like, she's fresh. Sierra's been pitching since the first game. How long can she go? Bottom of the 10th comes up. I think bottom of the ninth, we had runners on second and third. I talked to Maddie last week and Lydia about Mikey's run from first to third, and she was safe, but we couldn't get that run in. So we go scoreless. We go to the top of the 10th. Then we come to the bottom of the 10th. And here you come up, a freshman, and you hit that ball. Base hit, knocks the run in. You run all the way to third. I was jumping and just shaking people's hands around me. I'd never really had a conversation with. I was so happy. But then when I looked over to third base, I see all the girls. I think you were standing there. I couldn't see it because they were all around you, but I'm assuming that you were at third base. They were all running to you. What did that hit mean to you? And how exciting was it to have your teammates come up? I don't know what they were telling you, but I'm sure it was good things. So what did that hit mean to you? You got the game-winning hit that allowed us to get the win.
I started crying because I felt like those one of those movies that it felt like a movie because everyone ran up to me and started hitting me on the helmet, cheering for me and stuff, and it felt so good.
Wow, that was an awesome hit, and I thought, wow. I came home and I thought, wow, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. It was a good game. I tell Johnny on this podcast, I like close games and competitive games, um, but that's too close. I like 5-2, 4-2, 3-1. That's good as long as we have the lead. Sierra's on the mound. Okay, we're good. But when it was that close, we couldn't get a run in 10 innings. I was like, this is becoming scary. I think we could possibly lose this game. We can't get a run in. And credit to Ingleside because you girls can hit the ball. They came out with a good game plan to hold you girls to 10 innings and one run. It said a lot about their team, but just a great hit. And it was awesome to see you get that hit and us be able to win that game. But here we come come up again. I think next week we got Beeville, and then we're going back over to Ingleside. So hopefully this time we'll get a little lead early in the game. A 3-0 would be nice. 4-1 would be nice, taking it into the seventh inning and winning that game. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, Johnny?
Oh yes.
I don't know if you and I can handle another 10 innings. 0. I don't know, Johnny. It's going to be crazy. I mean, I guess if we get the win, that's okay, but I don't want it to go to a 0-0 to extra innings, but we shall see what happens. Girls, I got one more question for you. And I ask the girls when they come on the podcast all the time. So both of you play multiple sports. Everybody knows that. But when you're not playing sports, when you're not doing softball, you're not doing track, what other hobbies do you guys enjoy doing? I mean, do you take naps, watch Netflix, play video games? What do you do? Piper, I'll go to you first.
I watch a lot of Netflix. And I do a lot of art. I love art. That's a passion for me.
Awesome. Emma?
This past couple months, I've woken up at 5:30, gone to track, gone to school, then weight room, then softball, then homework, and then gone to bed. I haven't done anything in the past, but I do like going to the beach. I'd say that's my hobby, going to the beach.
That's nice.
Yes, that's awesome. Johnny, you have anything else?
Oh yeah, I got a couple of things. Let me ask y'all. I never asked any of the girls previous. Am I too loud in the stands?
I don't think so. I think whenever we're in the game, we don't really hear anybody that's outside.
It's just too much going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just too much going on. Just too much going on. Piper, this just popped in my head. I meant to ask this or talk about it a little bit. There was one game. I don't remember what you did. I don't know if you're coming off the bat. I don't know if you scored or you struck out or whatever. But I remember the umpire calling time. Then somebody comes over there and gives the umpire a high five. I've never seen that, but it was pretty cute. I love that. What was going through your mind?
Everyone was like high fiving each other and all that, and I was like, I was like, wow, who has a big hand?
Yeah, I didn't see that until I saw I saw Lydia send me a video of it, and I was all like, she really did give the umpire a high five.
That's awesome.
That's pretty fun. Hey, gotta have fun, man. That's especially coming from a freshman, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't have anything else to say, but just bring home that state title. Just do it. That's all I have to say.
No pressure, ladies. No pressure. Just go out and do your thing. Listen, you girls have had a remarkable season. I said this to the other girls that were on the podcast. You're champions already anyway. No matter what happens. I mean, I know you girls have worked hard. It's an ultimate goal. You should always want to reach and be the last team standing. And you girls, I can tell you, I mean, I'm a fan, obviously, but you have a very good chance of bringing that title home. I mean, it's a very talented team. Young, just about everybody will be back, but the pitching is there, the hitting is there. But like I said last week in a softball game, one bad game can kill the season once you're in the playoffs, and I'm sure you girls know that. But we definitely have the team. And I think when it's all said and done, like I've said, we will be the last team standing. But no matter what happens, you're champions anyway. The way you guys have played so far this year, you leave everything on the field. The chemistry you have with each other. Those are all signs of a champion. So, in our eyes, you're champions anyway. But how sweet would it be, man, to bring that state title home, Johnny? It'd be nice. But we shall see what happens, girls. Still a lot of softball left. The Pirates Cove will be behind you guys 100%. I'll be there next week to start videotaping the games. And I'm surprised you don't hear him because he sits behind catcher, and I'm way at the outfield recording the game, and I can hear him clearly loud and clear. I can hear him. So the fact that you guys said, "Hey, you really tune him out," that's good, man, because I can hear clearly what he's saying. And somebody will tell me who's that. I said, "That's Johnny Zavala, man. That's Johnny." So if you don't see him, you'll hear him. But that's just the excitement. I like to hear Johnny because it just shows, the excitement that he has and how much he wants, our teams to succeed. So it's great to have him out there. He does the same thing in football. So it's great to have somebody out there that steers it up. But ladies, thank you very much for coming out and spending some time with us. I know you guys have had a long day. We'll see you guys out. I think the next game is at home against Beeville. I think, right, Johnny, on Friday.
Yes.
So I'll be out there. You guys have the alumni game too on Saturday. There's a home run derby as well. I know I've got to work that day, but I think I'll be out in time to get out there in the stands and record the alumni game. So Emma and Piper, thank you very much. We really appreciate you guys coming on and spending some time with us. But I'll give you guys the final word here on the Pirates Cove before we call it a night. So Piper, I go to you first. Anything you want to add before we call it a night?
No.
Emma?
I just want to thank you all for doing this podcast. This is so cool that you're bringing attention to our team.
Yes, ma'am. You're very welcome. And I'll tell you, as long as I'm around, we plan to do it next year. We plan to do it for a long time. We plan to get involved with the coaches. I'll be interviewing Coach Elizondo. Next week, I don't know if you guys were aware, but next week, we're going to start having the boys on as well. So next week, next Wednesday on the Pirates Cove podcast, we're going to have sophomore Kimberlyn Gerloff, I think is her last name, and Johnny, I got to get this right. Elena, because I think I called her Alana, and somebody told me, "Don't you call her that? Her name is Elena." So I said, "Okay." I wrote it down. So we'll have Elena Garcia up here next week on the podcast. We'll have questions for them. They'll be on next Wednesday, and then we'll also start with our baseball team, the boys. I think we're going to have Ian McPherson will be here next Wednesday, and John Chupi will be here. So we're going to continue with the girls and the boys, and then next year we'll do the same thing with volleyball and football, and hopefully we can continue. And this is just to show the community, our athletes, and what they're up to and what they're doing consistently. So hopefully they'll come out and cheer our athletes on, because we got a lot of talent here, and a lot of that talent, we don't get the news stations out here all the time. So it's great to be able to do something like this and show our community the type of athletes that we have here in Rockport. So girls, once again, thank you very much for coming out. Hopefully, we can have you guys back. My plan is if the season continues and we go far, we're definitely going to send your parents an invite to have both of you back. We'll be on Zoom by then, so we may have you two and the other four seniors as well. So until then, this is what we do at the Pirates Cove, Johnny, all the time, right?
Peace out.
Peace out, Emma, Piper. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys. Good luck on Friday against Beeville.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.